Einen wunderschönen herzlich willkommen zurück zu einer weiteren Folge von Lamplight City. Wir haben jetzt bekommen Dinge, und zwar Gerichtsmediziner, Dinge, ne? Und ich glaube, das ist genau das Richtige, was wir bei Usher und Price benutzen dürfen können, um nachzuweisen, dass die gute alte Dame verstorben ist oder ermordet. Das wissen wir ja alles noch nicht. Wir reden mal mit der Schreibkraft.
Begging your pardon, sir.
Yes?
Yes, ja.
Perhaps Mr. Usher will see me when he sees this.
No? What's that?
A report from Dr. Malcolm Edwards, the city coroner, confirming Miss Lathan's untimely demise.
Let me see that. Oh my. Wait one moment, would you?
Ja.
Martin, what is the meaning of this?
The gentleman who brought that is a private investigator. He's waiting outside to see you.
Send him in then.
You heard him, Mr. Fordham. You may go inside and see Mr. Usher.
Thank you kindly.
Okay. Was das da?
So, a private investigator, are you?
That's right. Miles Fordham is my name.
Jonas Usher, a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Pleasure's all mine.
So, it would seem that Miss Lathan has shuffled off the mortal coil, as it were.
I'm sorry to say that is indeed the case.
Please come in, have a seat. Make yourself comfortable. I only ask that you kindly wash your hands in the basin first, and limit what you touch in here.
This one seems a bit on edge, doesn't he?
Wir gucken
Adds a
erstmal.
nice bit of color to the room. Stern-looking lady. Is there anything more boring than books on law? Just reading the titles is making me drowsy.
Wir waschen unsere Hände definitiv. Hoffentlich nicht in Unschuld allein.
Usher seems to like keeping his guests at a distance. Judging by how full these bottles are, Usher doesn't indulge much. What a waste.
So, wir waschen mal.
Thank you, Mr. Fordham. I appreciate your cooperation.
Wir sind lieb, ne?
Don't get carried away with the hand washing, or you might end up like Usher.
So.
Mr. Usher, I have some questions for you.
And hopefully I have your answers.
Also, genau so stelle ich mir ihn auch vor. Definitiv. Fangen wir hiermit an.
Mr. Usher, I've noticed from your rules and habits that you seem to have a particular aversion to germs. Why is that, if I may ask?
I've been ill most of my life, Mr. Fordham. I was a sickly child, and unfortunately my condition hasn't improved with age. It's a miracle I'm still alive. That's why I'm so careful about exposing myself to germs.
I see.
How's my color? Do I look pale to you?
Not particularly.
I saw myself in the mirror this morning and thought I looked a bit peaked. Also, my leg has been hurting more than usual, which has been cause for concern.
Nah, you've really done it, Miles.
Yes, well, moving on. How long have you been practicing law, Mr. Usher?
Usher and Price has been operating since 1805. I took over from my father 15 years ago. The stress hasn't helped my heartburn, I can tell you that. Why, just last night I was tossing and turning because I couldn't stand the burning in my throat.
Gott.
That's why I've got these bags under my eyes, you know.
Ah, yes. And
Wie heißen
Mr.
die?
Price?
He's
Hypochonder?
still here, although I think he'll probably be retiring soon as well. But the law firm has done well over the years, and I have a feeling it'll do even better in the years to come.
Oh, why is that?
We're currently beginning a group litigation against Royal Maverick for the Ligeia disaster. I'm confident that we'll recover quite a significant sum for the families of those killed. You weren't by chance affected by the disaster, were you?
Thankfully, I wasn't, no.
Shame. You could have joined the class action and done quite well when we win.
You know, I always thought we detectives made our living off human tragedy.
So, dann wollen wir mal.
What can you tell me about Desiree Lathan?
She was a lovely woman. I'm saddened to hear of her unfortunate passing.
How long had you been her attorney?
She retained me some 10 years ago, I believe.
That's quite a long time.
Yes, I remember I had just gotten over a bout of melancholia and been able to work in nearly a month. I didn't think I'd make it out of that, but luckily things took a turn for the better. Miss Lathan came to see me, and I've served as her attorney ever since.
Would you say Miss Lathan is a wealthy woman?
Indeed I would. Her estate is worth a significant sum. Of course, you understand that this is confidential information, so I cannot tell you the exact amount.
Yes, of course.
Und wer ist derjenige, der erbt?
Can you think of anyone who may have wanted to harm Miss Lathan?
No, I can't. What makes you think that someone actually killed her?
It seems the most plausible explanation.
Miss Lathan was getting on in years. It's likely she may have developed a case of pneumonia. That's the most common killer of the elderly, you know. I had it when I was younger. Most unpleasant. Constant coughing, spitting up phlegm, rattling in the lungs. Thankfully, I made a full recovery.
But supposing that was the cause of death, how would it explain the fact that her body was completely burned?
She was a smoker. Perhaps she was having a cigarette when she died and dropped it on the bed, causing it to catch fire.
I found no cigarette butts at the crime scene.
I'm merely offering my opinion, Mr. Fordham. You can take it or leave it.
I think we should leave it.
I found this letter in Miss Lathan's bedroom, which mentions that she recently changed her will. Could you tell me a bit more about the circumstances surrounding this change?
That's not an uncommon occurrence. People change their wills all the time. Relatives and friends fall in and out of favor constantly.
Had Miss Lathan made changes to her will previously?
No, this was the first time.
What change did she make exactly?
Just a change to her beneficiary. Nothing out of the ordinary.
And when did this change occur?
About 4 months ago, if I recall correctly. Yes, it was definitely in June, because I'd been in bed with a nasty stomach flu at the end of May. That was no fun, let me tell you. I think I lost nearly 6 pounds from the constant trips to the WC. Couldn't keep a thing down, and whatever did stay down soon came out the other end, if you get my meaning.
Ja.
I'd say his meaning is regrettably impossible to avoid.
Who did Miss
Das
Lathan
wird er
name
nicht
as her new
verraten.
beneficiary?
Mr. Fordham, please. You know I couldn't possibly tell you that. There is such a thing as attorney-client privilege.
Wenn sie verstorben ist, dann ist sie technisch gesehen nicht mehr ihre Klientin. Ist es nicht verdächtig, dass sie so kurz nach der Änderung ist, dass, okay. Ich werde auf sie niesen. Oh, das ist gemein und ich habe nicht gespeichert, verdammt. Ja, das Anwaltsgeheimnis geht eigentlich drüber hinaus, ne? Irgendwie war es doch.
I'm aware of that. However, Miss Lathan is deceased. Therefore, it stands to reason that she is in fact no longer your client.
True, but her estate is still in my hands. I'm not going to betray her trust just because she's dead.
About Miss Lathan's beneficiary.
I told you, Mr. Fordham. I can't divulge information protected under attorney-client privilege.
Ja, verklagt uns, wenn wir hier machen.
Do you not find it suspicious, Mr. Usher, that Miss Lathan died under such mysterious circumstances only 4 months after naming a new beneficiary? You said yourself she was wealthy. Does it not make sense that someone might have wanted her inheritance?
I suppose it's not entirely out of the question.
Right. So tell me the name of Miss Lathan's beneficiary so I can determine if this was, in fact, a murder.
Very well.
Okay.
It was a man named Roger DeVay.
Wer ist
Do you have
das?
any information on where I can find him?
Only his address. It's 775 Pumblechook Place in Chumley.
That'll do nicely. Thank you, Mr. Usher.
Wer ist das?
Thank you for your help, Mr. Usher.
The pleasure is all mine, Mr. Fordham.
Was wäre eigentlich passiert, hätten wir uns nicht die Hände gewaschen? Ah, wer ist der Typ, DeVay? Sag mir der Dame irgendwas? Habe ich den schon mal gehört irgendwo? Ein Maler. Der Maler, der ihr Porträt gemacht hat.
Did Usher give us the wrong address? This should be 775, but there's no building here. I used to draw funny pictures of rich people on walls too when I was a kid. Never did a lick of good, but it would always make me feel better.
Das ist der Obdachlose hier, wollen wir wetten?
These aren't in such bad shape, really. As far as the chum goes, this is one of the nicer areas. These aren't in such bad shape.
Okay.
Hey, that's just like the one we had when I was a boy. Good old Rusty. He served us well. Doesn't look like much, but I bet it keeps the rain off. Assuming there's no wind. Yeah, those aren't half bad. Too bad they aren't finished. I wonder if they're going to be used to keep the fire going.
Oh.
Yeah, those are... By chum standards, that's practically a four-poster.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
Is this 775 Pumblechook Place?
Yeah, it would be if the building were still here.
Oh, I see. Might I ask you a few questions?
You can ask.
Das ist er nicht.
Do you know Roger DeVay?
Know him? Of course I know him. He lives here with me.
He does?
Well, whenever he decides to come home, anyway. Rest of the time, I suspect he finds a way to sleep at his job. Me, I do the same, except I can't stand the smell of the horses.
Do you know where Mr. DeVay works?
Nah, he never told me.
Do you know a woman named Desiree Lathan?
Nah, I don't know many women. They're not too fond of my company.
Keine
I
Ahnung
don't
warum.
understand why. I always try to be a perfect gentleman. Guess it just don't got the charm. I've asked Roger to give me a few pointers. He's a big hit with ladies, you know.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. He no sooner looks at them than they're falling at his feet. Real natural, that one. Never brings it back here, though. Always winds up staying with him, getting a free meal and a soft bed out of it. Ah, well, the bohemian lifestyle ain't for everyone. Maybe someday my luck will change.
I'm sure it will change the day he decides to take a bath.
What's your name, sir?
Me? I'm Herman. Herman Shaw.
How long have you been living here?
Oh, I've been here for ages. Since before the building got condemned and was torn down. They pretty much forced us out, you see, but a couple of us came back and set up here. Seemed like a good idea. And I had nowhere else to go. That's not so bad, except for when it rains. And I guess we'll have to bundle up a bit more when it gets cold. But other than that, it's like the place was still standing.
There's some of that classic chum ingenuity. Or maybe it's just delusion.
What happened to this place? Why was it condemned?
The building was old, in a pretty sad state, so the inspectors came by and said it was unfit for living. There was a whole lot of us here. Most were able to pick up and go, but a few of us stayed.
Why don't you go to a workhouse?
You wouldn't be asking if you'd ever been inside one. It's wall-to-wall people, children crying, sick folk coughing all over you.
But there's plenty of that out here, too.
Well, sure, but out here, there's freedom. Nobody telling you what to do except the odd copper. Not even many of them in this neighborhood. Besides, this is my home. Just because it's missing a few walls don't mean I ought to abandon it.
You look somewhat familiar. Didn't I see you protesting outside the Harris construction yard?
Yeah, I was there. What of it?
Were you affected by the Ligeia disaster?
Well, nobody I know was killed, if that's what you mean.
So why were you protesting the construction of the Lenore?
That Devons fella promised he'd buy us a meal if we stood in the crowd. And for a free meal, I'd do just about anything.
I thank you for your time.
Maybe give us a shilling or two for the trouble?
I'll consider it.
Ja, wir considern es, ne? Aber inhaltlich gleich. So, weiter geht's. Okay, jetzt gehen langsam die Hinweise aus.
I may have more questions for you later.
Okay. Ja, okay. Aber wir könnten noch mal hier hin.
Nothing more to ask her about.
Okay, wir könnten da nicht hin. So, jetzt wird's gerade ein bisschen...
Welcome back, Mr. Fordham.
I don't think there's anything...
I'll be going.
May the spirit...
Ja.
I don't think there's really... Nothing else to ask. We haven't got...
Okay, jetzt wird's langsam... Mal gucken, vielleicht weiß sie ja was.
Got a moment, Upton?
Yes, but let's make this quick.
That's it for now.
Better get back to it then.
Okay, jetzt bin ich raus. Jetzt bin ich wirklich raus. Was ist denn jetzt zu tun? Kann ich hier nochmal hin? Ändert sich was?
Miles, the petri dish is empty. An empty petri dish isn't gonna be a much...
Wir haben aber nichts, was wir reingucken können. Return to Upton and accuse Margaret and... Nein. Lathan's death to reserve... Irgendwas ist noch in dem... Habe ich hier irgendwas übersehen?
These are all high-end foo-foo liqueurs and core... The bridge to Licht.
Das haben wir ja alles schon gehabt hier.
I may have more questions.
Nee. Du, was machen wir denn jetzt dann noch? Das ist... Geschichte.
Yeah, those aren't half bad. I wonder if they're gonna... Hey, that's just like the one...
Ach so, haben wir hier vielleicht noch irgendwas? Nee, ne?
Nothing new to ask him.
Mal gucken, ob wir vielleicht
I'm
irgendwas
afraid I need to
übersehen
have
haben.
another look inside Miss...
All right.
Ja. Haben wir hier irgendwas übersehen?
That's a nice portrait of Miss Lath. The area where the artist's signature should...
But the date is still legible. It's from this year.
Da haben wir schon reingeguckt, ne?
Nothing else of interest in there.
Wäre auch zu offensichtlich gewesen.
Miss Lathan's half-written article about igniting the fires within. Pity we'll never be able to know how it ends. I don't think Desiree will be able to give us a hand with this investigation.
Bill?
What? I thought it was funny. I don't think there's much else we can learn just by looking at these ashes, Miles. There's a tattoo on her ankle. It says, dancing through...
Ja.
This one's clean. Well, aside from the fact that the rest...
Okay.
Alas, poor Desiree, a woman of infinite... Come to think of it, that question might be worth answering. Alas, poor Desiree, a woman of infinite riches, of tastes most fancy. Where's all your money now?
Ja, wo ist das Geld jetzt?
Nothing else of interest.
Ich bin gerade etwas überfragt.
Definitely too young to be Miss Lathan. Perhaps a relative? Judging by these books, Miss Lathan was quite the fan of poetry. Judging by these...
Okay.
You have to hand it to her. Miss Lathan certainly had a unique...
Ja, das war der modische Geschmack. Das hatten wir auch.
An invitation to the Gascon Grand.
Das hatten wir auch.
Nope.
Das nimmt er nicht weiter in die Hand. Sag mal, was haben wir denn übersehen? Ich habe irgendwas übersehen.
Best not to bother him any further. Doesn't look...
Ja, ich bin völlig ratlos gerade. Okay, ich weiß es nicht. Ich weiß es wirklich nicht. Wir schauen bei der nächsten Folge, wie es weitergeht. Ich hoffe, es geht dann weiter. Vielen Dank auf jeden Fall fürs Zusehen und schauen wir mal. Ja? Bis zur nächsten Folge. Euer Firefox.